Welcome to 2021 Swingers. This is where Groundhog Day has officially just became a documentary. Cheers everyone, welcome back. If this is your first time to the channel, give the subscribe button a wee smash, and if you are coming back from another video, thanks very much. It's been an absolute roller coaster so far. I believe the courses down in England have had to close, which I think is crazy. But up in Scotland they appear to still be open now, and driving ranges also still appear to be open, so hopefully we can get some content to keep you guys going. Let me know what you are doing in the comments, what you guys are actually doing, the ones down in England, to keep yourselves going throughout this, because I honestly don't know what I would do if the course is closed. There would be no way I could do videos. So obviously I am in the kitchen today, so that's an unfortunate, but the golf courses round my bit are completely frozen over. For the past week and a half all we've had snow and ice and just doesn't seem to be letting up, so I just wanted to get a video out anyway and start this new series. This new series is going to be called Target 10. Target 10 was something I briefly touched upon at the end of 2020, where I said one of my goals for this year was to get the handicap as low as I can, probably a bit ambitious, but as low as I can, down to 10. So what I'm going to be doing with this Target 10 series is a weekly video coming out every Wednesday where I look at all aspects of my golf. Today we're going to be looking at grip, next week we're going to be looking at posture, and all through the weeks we're going to be looking at everything, including the psychology and the mental side of golf, which I think is going to be amazing to look at. So it's going to be amazing for you guys to follow along and see if there's anything in these videos that I talk about. Even if there's something I haven't covered or you think I should be changing, get in the comments, let me know. This is what it's about. It's going to be about a process of trying to get things better on a kind of self-teaching platform. We're going to be looking at, as I say, things that are completely basic to golf, but we're going to be also looking at things that I've maybe picked up in my lessons that I'm bringing over and passing it on to you guys. So I do have to say before we begin, I am not in any shape or form saying that I'm a professional, that I'm a coach, that I've went through any form of teaching to teach golf or anything like that. The information I'm passing over to you guys is information that I've picked up through my own experience, whether it's been through lessons I've had, whether it's been through videos I've watched or reading a book. Anything that I'm going to be talking about is my own interpretation of that. I'm not in any way saying this is a way to play golf or this is what you should do. But if it helps you, great. So now we've got all the boring stuff out of the way. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to look at a couple of videos. These videos were taken yesterday at the driving range. Obviously we know this video is going to be about grip, but have a wee look at the video and just see if there's anything that you guys can see that's maybe changed in my swing or things that are looking better maybe. Hopefully. Then we're going to discuss some things just to see the changes I've made, and then we'll go back and watch the videos again and just see if we can actually see that being implemented in my swing. Right, so let's have a look at them and see what you pick up on. Okay, so what did you notice? Was there anything in particular you noticed in my pre-routine or on the swing itself? Leave it in the comments down below if there was anything you thought. But we're going to be discussing some things today. We will come back to the videos just to see if there's maybe things that I've discussed on that you can pick up on in the video, just to say, right, I can see what he's doing. But hopefully you can agree that it's certainly going in the right direction. That's the main goal, it's going in the right direction. Let's just jump in, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. Primarily this video is going to be based on grip, but not just the basics of grip, like where to put your hands. It's going to be focusing on your trail hand. Something that a lot of guys don't pick up on. You can type into YouTube, Google, wherever you search for stuff, and find out what a good grip is. The first thing you're going to notice is what they talk about on your lead hand, which is great because your lead hand's so important. You get the usual things where you need to make sure that you see knuckles and that your thumb's on the right side of the club. But one thing I've found out is I have very small hands, quite chubby fingers, right? I'll just put them on the screen, right? They are chubby wee sausages. I've not got the very long fingers that you might see from a lot of golfers. Certainly when I put my hand around the grip, there's quite a lot of excess skin that happens from my hands. Part of the reason I don't wear a wedding ring or I don't wear any rings in my fingers is it does cut in quite a bit in the hands. So I've been watching a lot of these videos and I'm going, I know what they're telling me to do, I just can't quite do it because my hands don't feel big enough to get that 3 knuckles on that hand. Pretty much accepted the fact that 1, maybe 2 knuckles is a good neutral left hand for me. So whatever feels comfortable for you and whatever you're used to hitting shots on your lead hand, so stick with it because we're going to be focusing on this trail hand primarily. Okay, so a lot of guys will normally take their grip on the first tee or at the driving range like that. Shaft up in there, they put the hands on and that's the grip. And then they'll go down to the ball and they'll start tinkering with it and everything else. What that does is that doesn't promote really a cocked wrist at the point of address. You're more likely to have a straight wrist when you then address the ball, which isn't good for a good address position. So the first thing to do is turn your club sideways. Make sure that the toe of the club is pointing straight up in the air and it's parallel to the ground. Okay, so from side on, the only thing you're going to do is just put your trail hand on the club, make sure that your toes are side is pointing up in the air, simply take your lead hand and put it on the club. Do this from about waist height, and what that's going to do is put your hand in a great position. That's pretty much it. The only checkpoints for your left hand is to make sure that you're keeping it in the fingers, it's not in the palm. You don't want it in the palm of your hand, you want it running through the fingers. The best way to kind of feel for this is imagine picking up a couple of bags of shopping or the basket at the range. You pick it up with your fingers, you wouldn't pick it up with your full hand. That's all you want to make sure is that you're just putting the fingers on the club and that your thumb is on the trail side of the shaft, which is, for a right-handed golfer, the right-hand side of your shaft. So I'm going to put a couple of pictures up on the screen now just to show you. Okay, so you'll see in this first picture here that my left hand, which is my lead hand, is more on top of the club. My thumb is on the opposite side of my hand. It's not sitting on top of the shaft, it's actually sitting on the trail side, which for a right-handed golfer is the right-hand side. And you can see that there's maybe 2, maybe 3 knuckles sitting on there. And if you wanted, for comparison, that triangle that's been created between my index finger and my thumb is now pointing up to my right shoulder. That's what you're looking for. Alright, and this picture here shows my weak grip that I've got. You can clearly see that my lead hand is too far around the club. Basically can't see any knuckles at all. My thumb's more on top of the shaft, and then when my right hand comes on, it's pretty much covering on top of my thumb. Okay, so as a wee reference is get a golf tee and sit it in the crease between your thumb and index finger. Right, so you can see there that the leading edge of my golf club is pretty much now running in the same direction as my tee. Perfect. Oh, you're getting something to eat. What are you getting? You going for a packet of them? Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Alright, so you should be pretty confident that your left hand, your lead hand, is now in a good position. But don't worry about it too much because my lead hand was out of position for quite a number of years when I was playing golf and I actually played alright. So after looking at many videos and books and everything else, what they don't really go into a lot of detail about is what happens to your trail hand, which is for a right-handed golfer, your right hand. I've always been told and always seen that you just bring it naturally into the golf club. You don't do anything else other than just bring it in from the side. That's great, that's a neutral position, that's absolutely fantastic. But for me, what it was causing me to do because of my chubby fingers is I was actually trying to press my hand over the top of the club. So that's what I was doing beforehand because I don't have the finger length to wrap round. So when I used to see guys putting their finger on the club, which was just bringing it in from the side, I was wrapping it over the top, which in an ideal world is the way you want your grip to be. You do want your palm to slightly be sitting over the top of your thumb. But again, this is your own interpretation. One thing we're going to try today is maybe just a wee bit controversial. You're probably going to get a lot of moans from the professionals out there, but it is seriously helped my game. And what we're going to talk about is bringing the right hand, so your trail hand, underneath the club. So if you've got your normal left hand grip on, rather than bringing it in from the side or putting it over the top, you're actually going to be bringing it underneath. This means that you've potentially got a very strong right hand, and it's probably going to cause a lot of your shots to go left, but what it's going to do is open up the space to the right side of your body, and this is the important thing. So if you've not got the right grip, or you've got too strong a grip, or you've got too weak a grip, what that's going to do is affect the takeaway, it's going to affect the top of your swing, it's certainly going to affect the downswing. A lot of my swing faults come from an over the top swing. I've not got the one swing plane. So for comparison, I'm going to show you the different types of grips and the effects it has on my shoulder. So first of all, here we've got quite a weak left grip. It's turned too far around the club. As you can see here, my thumb's sitting on top of the shaft. I'm going to bring my trail hand over the top of the club. So there's now the grip. This is the grip I had before. This causes a crushing motion to happen in the chest. It also causes my elbow to probably come too far in front. My shoulder, as you can see here, is hunched up and they're quite square. If anything, I now feel straight to target, but I'm feeling crushed. There's no movement whatsoever. Very straight arms and a crushed shoulder. I could probably get an apple in between my moves and get that crushed. So this is obviously bad. This creates one of those kind of straight up and down swings that you would have saw me doing beforehand. The next one is too strong a grip. My right hand just comes in neutrally and sits over that. I'm completely covering my thumb with that bit. It creates a good shoulder tilt, but it's actually causing this crushing effect again, and I'm aiming off to the right. My body's completely open to target here. If I swung here, the only thing I would be able to do is come over the top. So now we're going to look at what we've discussed, putting the hand on the club to create a fairly neutral lead hand. So we're going to bring the hand in rather from the side or over the top. We're going to bring it in from underneath. What that's now made me feel is I've got this shoulder drop down. I don't feel crushed. You can actually see there's very little creases in my top here. I'm straight to target and I feel I've got all of this space around my side. So when I do my swing, I'm not forced over the top because I've got this limited movement at the front. I actually feel that the only thing I can do is bring it up and round. And that's the key. That's where we need to be going. We need to get this out to in swing motion, which is going to start creating draws. It's going to start creating consistency in your shots, and it's certainly going to mean that you're not going to get these hosel hits. You're not going to get slices. You're going to find that your in to out path is going to be a lot better, and you're probably going to start gaining distance on your shots. So now let's look at the clips again. Concentrating the fact on a couple of clips, you're going to see me fixing my lead hand grip. You're then going to see my hand come underneath the club and present it, and you're also going to see when I'm taking away and coming back, I'm actually coming round, and you might not be able to see the ball flight. I was drawn pretty much every shot I hit on the range. Just for comparison, normally my 7-iron goes about 150 yards. I was approaching 175 yards on the range, so something seems to have changed. So hopefully you saw there was a definite change. A lot of movement round this right hand side that I felt that I could actually bring my elbow round. So when I was swinging, my club was coming up and I actually felt that I could drop these hands down and pull it round because I'm not restricted in my grip. I'm not saying this is what you should be doing going forward with your golf, but certainly something to help you get the feeling of what it's like to be swinging in to out and get the feeling of drawing the ball. And I'll be honest with you, getting the feeling of the ball hitting the club face and nipping is unreal. I don't know how many shots yesterday out of the 100 that I hit were completely what I would call perfect shots. I never get one shank. I could control the draw, and if anything, the most out of control part of the game was the distance. I was going longer than what I usually was. So try it, sit in the living room, sit in the hall, put your left hand on, then bring it round and put your right hand on, and just address the ball and have a feel of how those shoulders feel, and you're going to get these in to out swing paths just from changing your trail hand. It's as simple as that. This might not work for you guys with big snake fingers, but for me with chubby wee sausage fingers, it's done the trick. So give it a go, put down in the comments and let me know what you think. Hopefully it's helped some of you. I'm going to be hopefully bringing out videos over the next week anyway, but if I don't catch you, it'll be next week. We're going to be looking at posture, and hopefully we can try and break down what maybe a good posture would be. And if you guys have got any tips on my posture from looking at my videos, get it in the comments and let me know. If you want to catch me on any social medias, they'll all be listed down below. Okay, so hopefully by next week the weather's going to be a wee bit better. We can hopefully get out in the course and actually start doing some filming on the course. In you come.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a video.
Can I watch you?
Okay, so we'll catch you in the next video, guys. As I say, if you have liked it, make sure to give the video a like, and if you've not already done so, hit that wee subscribe button. That'll make everyone happy. But behave yourselves. See you in the next one. Cheers, guys.